Hi guys, welcome back to this YouTube channel. So for today's video we are going to discuss about the homeroom guidance of Grade 12, Quarter 1, Module 2, entitled, Accepting the Individuality of Others. At the end of this module, you are expected to 1. Determine the basic aspects of an individual. 2. Demonstrate suggested ways in accepting others. 3. Formulate home or school policies that promote respect for individual differences, and 4. Appreciate actions or behaviors that accept individual differences. In this module, you will have a better understanding about your role in promoting respect for individual differences. This aims to give you an opportunity to view others' perspectives and feelings. Accepting attitude and openness to others' unique characteristics will help you to have healthy relationships. Go on board and celebrate everyone's individuality. And now, let's try this first activity, entitled, Observation of Others' Uniqueness. For direction, 1. Copy the following table on a clean sheet of paper. 2. Think of 3 different persons who are similar in a certain aspect that you would like to observe for this activity. For example, 3 famous personalities: singers, dancers, inventors, politicians, artists. 3. Write their names and describe them using the options in each column. And use your best judgment on them. 4. Write your answers to the processing questions after. So, here's the template for this activity. First, you are going to identify and put their names. Same with their descriptions about themselves. If they are lively or reserved, nurturing or disciplinarian, conservative or liberated, thinker or doer, and lastly, if they are planner or easy-go-lucky. Let's come now to processing questions. 1. Were you able to fill out all related descriptions for each person? Which of the descriptions is the most observable? 2. What is the most difficult description to observe? Then explain. 3. What can you say about the differences that you observed among these 3 persons? For this activity, entitled, Showing Support for Others, copy the following table on a sheet of paper. How will you support others in the given situations? Then, write your answer in each column. In these given 10 situations, you are going to put on how will you help them through physically, emotionally, socially and spiritually to show your full support on them. And put your answers on each column provided. For processing questions, 1. What do you notice with your answers? 2. Which of the situations is the most difficult to handle or manage? Then explain. 3. What type of support or help is the easiest to provide? Explain. And 4. What have you realized after doing this activity? In dealing with others, we must recognize that we are all different from one another. Though we may have similarities in terms of preferences, taste, physical appearance, style and many more, we still have our distinctions and uniqueness which make us special in different ways. Our individuality comes with our unique attributes and characteristics. Some can easily be seen physically while some can be manifested through actions and behavior which may indicate values and personalities. There is harmony in diversity and we can all keep it that way if we learn to accept one another as we are. There are healthy ways to deal with our individual differences which would work for everyone's advantage. Here are some. A. Accept that we are all different. Don't assume that your preferences would always be the same as those of your peers or friends. Of course there are similarities among you but all have different stories to tell that affect the way you see things. You may have different beliefs, culture, values, and even interest, and you cannot force anybody to be exactly the same as you. Remember, even twins have differences. A. Accept that we are all different. Don't assume that your preferences would always be the same as those of your peers or friends. Of course there are similarities among you but all have different stories to tell that affect the way you see things. You may have different beliefs, culture, values, and even interest, and you cannot force anybody to be exactly the same as you. Remember, even twins have differences. B. Use your similarities with other people to strike a harmonious relationship with them. While you acknowledge that people are different from another, there are also commonalities which you may take advantage to establish positive relationship with them. At this point in time, you might have found the right people who can be your good friends, who can inspire you to strive harder, and who can be your role model. C. Be open-minded with others. You can always learn from the experiences of your friends and peers and they can also do the same with you. The manner they overcome life challenges and how they impact their living could be your insights to improve your lifestyle or even the way you d. Try to consider where others are coming from. Your family setup may be different from what your friends have. People might have grown up in a province or in a highly urbanized city. There are those who have a complete set of parents and those that have a single parent or no parents at all. Additionally, people have different childhood experiences which greatly affect their attitude and personality now. There are also those who struggle financially and those who are well off. Keep in mind that people are coming from different backgrounds and they act, decide and make choices based on those things. If your differences with others are getting in the way, try to have a common ground. You cannot impose your beliefs, values and culture to others, the same way that they cannot do that to you. However, instead of trying to prove who's better and who's not, you may want to find an area where you can both improve yourself while learning from each other. There are differences that are worthy to talk and celebrate, and there are those that we just accept unconditionally, just like in the second item. There's no point in comparing people as each of us have our own potentials and abilities. Always remember that you coexist with others. There are things that you cannot control like the people around you, but you can always manage the way you deal with them. The choice is always with you. Either you make the most out of those individual differences and have a happy life, or you make that as your limitations. I care, policies. Copy the table below on a separate sheet of paper. Write at least 5 policies at home, in school, in the community or online that you personally do to respect individual differences. Answer the processing questions after. Processing questions. 1. How do you compare your answers in each column? 2. Given the current situation, how do you intend to practice them? 3. What made you practice such ways to respect individual differences and care for others? And now let's test what you have learned in our discussion. Write a 3 to 5 paragraph essay that answers the question below on a sheet of paper. How should we celebrate our individual differences? And now, it's time to share your thoughts and feelings. You have create a slogan or poster on unconditional acceptance of others and respect for individual differences. You may post it online or physically in the most noticeable area at home. Use a short bond paper and coloring materials.